Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. In this video we're going to be replicating this lovely fantastic website that someone has designed. This is basically just a few screenshots of it at the moment that we're going to use to create this website. By the end of the video you'll have a good understanding about how you can make a premium or top class website just like this in a short amount of time, just using a little bit of code. And it scrolls down even further, and it goes down even further, and it goes down even further, just like that. So let's just set up the basic pieces of information that we need in our code. I've just got a folder and got an index.html file in here at the moment, and I've got a link of where you can download this website or view this website that someone has created at nicepage.com. The link will be in the description also to be able to refer to it, and if you want to buy it, whatever. This video is not sponsored by them. I just found this link and I found this website and I thought it was fantastic, and it's a perfect example of a beautiful 2020 website that we can use as a good example. So let's just get started, shall we? So inside of our HTML we can actually got a quick look here. Whoops, I don't want that. HTML, this one here. Okay, we just create a new document, and it's the website's called Running for Sports. So we'll say Running for Sports, possibly Running Club for Sports. Okay, Running Club for Sports. That'll do. All right. The most important thing that we are going to need is obviously CSS, and we're going to say section1.css. We're going to split it down into a couple of sections rather than doing it all at once. So we're going to say link href equals css, and this here, and this is the style sheets here, and we're not going to put any JavaScript in it at the moment because we're just creating the CSS for it. So let's remove this. Let's create this. Actually, we want to have that section 1, so we'll also have then a layout.css, and what this is going to do, it's going to essentially just control the main outer body of the website. So it's not going to concern itself with anything that's inside of section 1, 2, and so on. It's just going to be the main section itself. Okay, so let's now continue and come over here to see what we need. Obviously, we know that we've got the navigation bar, we've got this section 1, and then we've got these icons here. And then we've got this section 2 where the join the movement and transport lives and so on section here. And then we've got this other banner with we are always beginner friendly and so on. And that's basically all we're going to do. So all we need to know right now is our layout. We're going to knock out any margin that's there. And let's say this, and padding, we spell margin correctly as well. I did, yeah. And this will just knock out any padding whatsoever. The next we want to have our fonts. So we're just going to say here font family, and for the time being I'm going to use Arial or Helvetica, but I'm actually going to get rid of Arial. I'm going to use Helvetica or sans serif. And our color, if we look at the moment, is we're going to define our colors that we want to use. So this is going to be so we're going to say bold white. Whoops. And this is going to define our font size of, or say bold white, we'll call it uppercase, and we'll say 1.2 ems for the time being, and then text transform is then uppercase as well. Color is equal to white. That's good, and that'll do for now. And then we'll just say bold white is normal. And get rid of this. It can be we want like font weights 200. We can change this later, and this is then going to be 100. Like I said, we'll change that again shortly. We've now got our bold black, uppercase. This is a little bit harder, so we're going to say black here. It can be we change the color as well, and then we've got bold black also, and we want text black. This is probably going to be like 0.9, and this is going to be we'll have a look at this later, which one we want to have. Okay, so that's this one. We've got the text here. We've got the heading text as well. So then we've got black heading, and font size, I don't know, say like 1.6 eames or something. Color black as well, and then font weight, I don't know, 400 maybe. That's good. We've got the white already. Now we want white text as well. So we'll say text white, and then we've got this real banner text. Let's call it banner white, bold banner text, and it's going to be maybe 3 eames. We'll check this later as well. And then we've got heading thin. We'll say we've got text large thin. Once again, and large text white large thin, font weight 100. That'll do. Okay, we probably missed something as well, but we'll add them as we go on. So we've created this now. Now let's create our navbar, which is important. So let's create another navbar CSS. You can reduce all this CSS down into one file later on, but right now all I'm concerning myself is that we've got different CSS files for different things, so we can extract them, change them, and refer to them a bit quicker. So let's say that our navbar is going to be David. Okay, so background is going to be red for the time being, height is going to be 60, and width is going to be 100% view width, and yeah, that'll be it for the time being. So let's come back to our page. Now we've got that hit there, and let's come back here, and we can I'd say that's probably going to be about 60 maybe. Yeah, that looks about right to me. We can maybe do it 70. Oops. 70 is fine, and we want the background to be white. Yeah. Okay. Let's put this banner in now. So I'm guessing possibly that it's like 644 there. So let's now say section 1. And we'll actually call it section 1 banner, height 644, width equals, we'll make it a static width. So we'll make it 1080, or yeah, we'll make it 1080 width. but that's not going to 190/20 just for the time being, and background color is equal to thistle for the time being, and margin, we don't want any margin top, we want it auto, no margin bottom, so it sits in the center. And next we're going to say let's come back here now, refresh this. Okay, so now we have our banner. What we can do is open this in a new window and so on. Take this, come to our banner, and refresh this once again to see what it looks like there. Okay, so now we want to say here, we want to say background size is then contain. That should show the whole image now. Yes, it does, but we don't want it to repeat, so we want to say background repeat, no repeats, and background position, we're going to say center. So let's refresh it again. That's cool. So we can see that, but the image in here, it obviously stretched all the way. So we'll give it a width of 100% view width, and we can actually say we'll say width is auto, but height is 6044 pixels. That should work. We want background size cover. There we go. All right, so now we have it. So what we did with the background size is to tell it what the height is, and let's go back to this now. We said that you can have a width of auto, the height's got to be 644, but because we said the background size has got to cover it, it's mean it's got to cover the whole thing. But because we gave it a height and it's auto, so it's made sure that the width has stayed automatic, and we know that the image is going to, because of the ratio, it's going to cover the whole screen essentially. But okay, so now we have this image in there properly. We've got our navigation bar. We want to actually sit our inner navigation bar. So when we come in here, we're going to have a inner nav bar, and this inner nav bar is going to sit within inside of inner nav bar, and we're going to say that this is going to be a width of 1080 pixels. Background is going to be then red for the time being, and height is then auto. Margin is equal to this, and this, and inner nav bar, actually do need this height. We can say 100%, it's easier. There we go. All right, so, but let's have a look. We want to make it maybe a little bit wider. So, whoops, let's make it 1200. That's better. Right, so now we've got 1200. Let's now create this logo on the left-hand side, and then the buttons on the right-hand side. This can be easily done with display flex, and we'll say flex direction is going to be row because we want it to be left to right. Justify content, because it is row and left to right, justify content is going to be flex start, flex end, center, and so on, which is left to right as well. So we want to say flex start, and then align items, because it is left to right, this is then going to be up and down, and we want to say center here. And we want to have our inner navbar then logo. And we're going to say height is going to be 50 pixels. Width is going to be 50 pixels as well. Background color is going to be this, or let's say tomato. And we don't have to say any margin because we've already told it to center here. Yeah, let's put it in here. Yeah, we need inner navbar logo. Whoops. That should be fine. Okay, we've got it. We want a little bit of margin left. And I believe we can say spacing between, spacing around, space around. No, I don't want that. I want rather do flex start like this because there's other things that I want to do. So I'm going to say 10 pixels, and that's good because we're not going to actually have that red background. Now what we want to do is have this other box here. Well, we want to have two. We want to have one box for this menu icon and then one box for all social media. So let's say menu, first of all. Width is 50, and then here margin right there, and that can be tomato as well. And then copy this. This is menu, and we're then going to have then we'll say content as well. This will make sense in just a second, because what we want to do is the middle, it wants to take up as much space as possible. So height is equal to height is 100%, and this is then going to say flex 1. Background color can be blue, because what this is going to do, margin right, we don't want any. And let's refresh this, and you should see what I'm thinking. Okay, what's happening here is that it's got the box on the left hand side which we want, box on the right that we want, but in the middle it's taking up the whole area. And so inside of this box we can now do the social media links. So inside of here we can then say social icon and do this 3 times, and come here and say, in actual fact we can copy this and say social icon, and let's just say grey, and they can have a margin right of 10. Let's refresh it. Now we've got these 3, but it's because our social content needs to be display is equal to flex. Flex direction once again is row. Justify the content once again wants to be center. Oh, sorry. Justify content wants to be flex ends, and align items wants to be center. There we go. So now we've got them on the right hand side, and our content can, because this here has a little bit of distance between it, our content can be margin right can say 40 here, and there we go. We've got some distance between it. Do we want any more? We could maybe go to 60 actually. We can tweak it at the end. 60, that's good. And let's have a little bit of padding on the top, so this whole contents, this whole navbar can have margin top of maybe 30 pixels. That's looking good now. I like that. Or we'll take it down, so maybe 15. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so now we have that. it doesn't look like there's any border on there. So now we've done section 1. The social media icons will add a little bit later, but the logo will add as well. But we can open into a new tab, and we can take this. So let's just put the logo in now then, shall we? And we'll just say background image is this here, and there we go. So we want to do exactly the same thing now, and background repeat is equal to no repeats. Background position is center. Background size, we're going to say contain. We want to see all of it. There we go. Got that. So we could probably give it a little bit more height, or we'll give it a bit more width and a bit more height. Yeah, it's looking good. So super duper. But yeah, it doesn't need anything more than that. So let's dump this red background now, and also get rid of this here. Super. There we go. Right, let's get rid of this blue background for this. Let's start at, obviously we are open new tab. These look like they are okay, these are SVGs, so we won't copy them, but we can easily find them social media icons elsewhere. But for the time being, we'll just ignore the fact that they're there. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so we've got our first part of the website done. Let's refresh this, and we can get the menu icon relatively simple. And I'll go and download it and get it from Material Icons now. Okay, so I've now copied the menu icon here from Material Icons and so on, so we can use that as our menu icon, and we can say it's a background image on this one here. So let's come to here and say background image is then image here, background position is center, background position size is contain as well, and we want background repeat equals no repeat. So let's do this. That's super duper. I think we might want it possibly a bit smaller, so we'll say 40. It's happy days. Let's take the background off of that. Super duper. All right, now we're just left with the social media ones, and we'll make them 40 as well. Actually, even make them 30, I think. Yeah, that's better. Okay, good stuff. Let's give the menu a cursor pointer, and also the social media icons too. Happy days. All right, we've got the logo. Let's give the logo also a pointer. Happy days. Okay, this image is done. Okay, now let's move on to section 2, shall we? So section 2 CSS. And okay, so because this is then got section 1, and we want then section 2. Now section 2, it's going to sit beneath section 1 banner. So let's start by saying here is then width is equal to 100% view width. Height for starters is going to be 400. Background color is equal to green. and let's put it in here. And give it a refresh. Okay, good stuff. We've got it here now. But what we need to be able to is to boost it from underneath. Okay, so all we need to do right now is then basically say margin bottom, and for the time being we're just going to move it up, say like 30 pixels. So let's have a look at the actual website, and it looks like about 60, maybe 80, let's say 80 pixels, and that's going to push it up over top of the other image and so on, and we can test this quite easily. So section 2, got that all there, should be fine. Let's refresh this again, and we can see it. You don't actually see the difference, but if we inspect it, you'll see the images there. Oh, we did 80, we need minus 80. That's better. What am I doing wrong here? Those. We need margin top, obviously. There we go. Okay, now you can see that the image is actually sat over the top of it, and it's probably actually going to be even more than that there. So let's go say like this. Well, we can actually look which part of her body it is on. So it's really just below this. It's actually quite high up. It's around about there. So let's say 145, minus 145. Looks good. Let's refresh that. Good stuff. All right, now let's have a look at actually how big this is. These boxes are 280, so 310, 340 in height. All right, so we can say it's then 340 in height. We weren't far off. Good stuff. Let's put a background of transparency and refresh our page, and let's give it a margin of bottom of 200 pixels for now, just so we got some space underneath it as well. Okay, so we want to have our boxes line up with our logo, so we know, well, they don't line up with the logo, actually they've got some margin on the left hand side. Now we know that our section 1 had a width, sorry, the navbar had a width of 1200. So we now have our section 2, and we will say it has then a width of 1200, and margin is then top we've got is minus 145 pixels, and then left we want auto, bottom for the time being we want this, and right we want auto. So there we got that solved now, and we'll put the background as red once again. Okay, now we've got it we've got it now centered. So now we want our section 2 inner, and this is the thing that's going to hold our boxes. So we will say display flex here. Flex direction is going to be row. Justify content is then, so we're going left to right, so justify content is from left to right as well, and we want to have center, align items. If it's left to right, this is then up to down, and we're going to say stretch there because we want it taking up the full box. And section inner is then going to be margin left 20, margin right 20, and height we said 340. So, but it shouldn't be a problem. Background color is then yellow. Let's put this box inside of our section 2. Okay, and then come and refresh it. Okay, that means that our CSS is not working. Is row, it's left to right, so that means it's going to stretch top to bottom. Means we need to say flex 1. There we go. All right, we might need possibly a little bit, yeah, say margin right, it's going to be like 80 or something, margin left 30. Yeah, it looks good. That looks good. We just want to kind of keep it in line with that. And these have got, that's got, yeah, it'll be fine. Okay, now we want the actual boxes in the box. So in my opinion, what we're going to do is we're going to have we're going to have one spaces between we can have. Let's just make, we'll make the individual boxes first. Section 2, box, and inner is going to be display flex. Justify contents is then if it's going from left to right. Justify content wants to be spacing between, space evenly, possibly. I have to try this. I don't do this very often. So one second, we want display flex. We want flex direction is going to be row. Align items is going to be center, and we'll say width is going to be 340. Height is 340. Background color can be wheat. Let's try this. So let's come in here and section 2 box, and we want 3 of them. Let's give this a refresh. Okay, that worked. Space evenly is probably not what we want, but it's not bad. Space between, that's exactly what we wanted. I like it. All right, good stuff. I believe we can get rid of heights. No, we have to have height because it's row, so flex. No, we have to have height is 100%. We can do that. That works, yes. So inner, yeah. Okay, that works. So now we have our boxes. So let's start by giving them the correct colors. So can we get the color of this, please? Otherwise, I can. Oh, we don't need it. We'll just come to Keynote and do it from there. And let's have a look at these colors. And what color? Oh, there we go. So box 1. Box 1 is background color. That there. And use number 2. Box 2 here, so background color, you can have that one. And finally, do we have that there? Yes. Okay. And finally, box 3, background. Whoops. Ground color. There. Good stuff. Whoops. That's good. So let's come back to here. And box 1, box 2, box 3, and make sure we get rid of this here. Happy days. Yeah. All right, good stuff. Now let's concentrate on doing these titles. These titles aren't all even on here, so we want to have each box from here is going to be display flex. Flex direction is going to be column, and because it's then top to bottom, align items is going to be left to right, and we want to be stretch. Justify content, so it's top to bottom wants to be flex start. Yes. All right, so now we can do box title, color is equal to white, and we'll concentrate on the using the other font size shortly. So we'll say 1.2 eames and font text alignment. So is center. Yes. So box title. So inside of here, we'll say X3 is and our mission. What are we doing with that? Okay, that's obviously because we didn't put box title on it. Happy days. All right, the text isn't correct yet, but we'll place a margin. We can place a padding top actually. So padding top is going to be, say, 80 pixels. It might need to be more than that. Okay, but that means we need to reduce the height down. So we're not going to use padding because I don't like that. So what we are going to do is then say margin top is going to be 80 pixels because that will change it. Yeah, that looks all right. Let's have a look at text spacing. So CSS chart spacing, letter spacing. Okay, we want letter spacing 3 pixels. So letter spacing, say 4 pixels. We can change it in the browser in a second. Oh, that's lovely. And we want font weight light. Oh, we want lighter. Oh, that's awesome. It can be, I think we can probably have it say 100. Let's see what 100 is. And am I not getting that right? CSS font. What did I get wrong there? Ah, I didn't search for it properly. Ah, it's because it's an H. That's why we want to override. It's because it's an H. Let's just say it's a standard P. And we should get a bit more. There we go. Possibly. No. There. No. Why is that not working? Box title, yes. Is it pixels? What am I doing wrong here, David? Normal. That'll do. I'm gonna stay with that, but it's a different type of text than what it is there. So we'll leave it for now. All right. Under that is then some other text that we're going to have to do. So let's come back to here and put the other. So then we'll say box text here, and color is equal to white. And we'll say it's like one inch. Is that text align center? Text align left. And padding top, letter spacing. Okay, it's people drilling again, so I'm sorry about the noise. I'm just going to continue. You're going to have to turn the volume down maybe. Is that what I wanted? Box text, yes. And which text do we want? Our club promotes whatever. Yep. That's good. All right, so we want like some. So if anything, we don't want to have it centered. We want to have some margin left on it. So we want that left, and we want to say margin left is 30 pixels. That's fine. So margin left on here as well. That's good. That's way too bold. Bold. Normal. Yeah. Okay, we want margin right now as well. Let's do 30 pixels. That looks good. The text is completely different to what we're using, but we're going to take the size down just slightly. That's good. And we'll give it a little bit more margin top. So 30. I like it. Okay, we're going to copy this text and put it in the others because I'd rather just see it all. Yes, I like it. Right, let's get rid of this background color here and get rid of this one here. See how that's doing? Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Happy days. And now just this more button needs to be done now. So let's create a and we'll just do that. And it's going to say more like that. Save that, and then we're going to say more button and fonts, which is color is white once again. Text decoration is underline. Padding bottom 10. Text align. It looks like right or something. Well, no, it's left. Text align left. And margin left is equal to 30. Let's come to here. Give this a more button. Happy days. Let's give it a margin top now as well. Probably about 50, I guess. But we need to have P and then A dot more button. Does that work? No. We need to change this. we don't need to change that, so that works, but we need to then margin top is 50 pixels, and more button A is then text, whoops, text decoration is underlined and color is equal to white, and we'll make it important as well so we can get rid of this. Yeah. Let's do padding bottom. Yeah, do padding bottom on that, and this can be actually margin bottom can be like 30 on here, not minus. We don't need any padding bottom on this. We want text decoration underline is none, but border bottom. Can't help it. I'm sorry. And it needs to be a span. Don't want it to having any width. Why are you having width there? Yeah, because what am I missing here? Span. Okay, we're going to leave that for the time being because I'm missing something there. Box, more button. Let the spacing. Yeah, I'm missing something there, but it's fine. Okay, so now we've got more, which is good. So let's copy this into there. Okay, so now we've got our 3 boxes done. Let's come back to our 3 boxes done. Image from FreePic, we're not putting that in. Okay, next thing to do is then make this center bit. So section 3 now. Been drilling all week. And section 3. Let's come into here. Section 3, and then put our section 3 here as well. We're not far off from being finished here. Section 3 is going to be pretty much the same as section 2. Oops. Just copy that, paste that back in again. Yeah, but margin top is going to be that. Margin bottom, we can change this margin bottom to be 0 once again, and that can be 200. Height, well, let's have a look, shall we? That image is like 539, so 700, we'll say 730 or something. Height can be, away, 750 pixels, and we can get rid of that for now. And let's put a background color of teal. Yeah, it doesn't work. Why? Where did I put it in? I put it in wrong. Section 3 wants to be there. Happy days. It's still wrong. That's better. Section 3 wants to be there. Happy days. So Now we want to give it some a little bit of border top. We'll give section 3 margin top, let's say 80 pixels seems fair. Could give it some more actually, so 120. Yeah, that's fair. All right, so now we've got this. We want to split it into 2 columns because we want this image on the right and this on the left. So section 3 body, and then we'll call it section 3 image here. So this is going to be flex like 60% maybe. There's 66% if we say that. So it's going to be like, yeah, say like 50%, 55%. So 0.5 like that, and background equals reds, and we'll say this can be flex 1, blue, flex display, flex direction is going to be row. Now if it's left to right, then justify contents is going to be flex start. Align items is then going to be top to bottom, and so we want stretch, yes, I believe so. So that means that because we're row, we want to have, let's just see whether that works. But we need to add the boxes first. Body and image. And then image. Yeah, happy days. So we obviously need some padding, some margin left. Yeah, it needs some the inner. Section 3 inner. And it's going to be margin left 30, margin right 30. Section 3 inner, and let's just place these inside. Happy days, but still not working. Background is equal to orange. Yeah, okay, that's because that needs to be flex 1, which means we've messed up all of this now. There we go. It's better, but oh, we did get the orange. Yeah, that's good because we know that it's got margin left and right, and this is taking up the correct amount of things, and it's now in line. So that is all drilling again. I'm sorry. Okay, so now we want to know that we've got these 3 things, and so this box here is then section 3 body inner is going to be margin left. This is sitting together. Yeah, so this margin left is going to be 0. I'm just going to put it in there to keep margin right. We can also say 0, so actually we don't have to say any margin at all. Yeah, but we'll say height is going to be about 100. Background is going to be purple, and this is going to be display flex. Flex direction is going to be column, top to bottom, so that means that justify content is going to be flex start. Wait a minute, top to bottom, align items We want space between, which means yes, and align items wants to be stretch. Section body inner. This is then going to create these boxes in here, and we want to have 3 of them. These contain the title, all the images and stuff. Okay, happy days. So maybe we can measure this. How much is that? It was 166, so 166 pixels. Come back here. And we want, let's say, spacing evenly. Happy days. I like it. It's looking good. Okay, the image on the right now needs to be, so this can then have this image. Open image in new tab. This can then have background image, URL, and background position is going to be center. Background repeat is going to be no repeat. Background size is going to be contain. Oh, look at this. Super awesome. Okay, we can make this can make it maybe this bit bigger. 6.5. Make it 7.5. Let's make it the fight between the 2 of them. Yeah, that's better. All right, let's get rid of some of these background colors now. Teal can go, orange can go, red can go, blue can go. Yes, all right, but they want to come down a little bit. So this inner box wants to come down a little bit. Body. Maybe say 60. No, let's do it this way. Section body 60. Go down, 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 down. Where is it? It's on her chin. $180. And is that right? Yeah, so on top of her shorts. 180 top. Do 10 pixels for now, and we'll refresh it. And we'll bring this in. Top of her shorts. Yeah. Okay, now we just need to the inner, change the inner size. Okay, what was that now? The bottom is going to be 110. Now let's change the size of these to go down. How much space have we got in between the 2 of them? There's quite a lot of space. $110. That looks like enough. How much did they use here? 106. It's all right. We'll give it 110. At 110 will be fine. So, yeah. Happy days. We're getting there. Now we just need our icon. So let's say Go away. Gets another one. Right, so I'm not going to be able to copy that. Right, so now we need to add some columns in here. So we have the section 3 body inner, and then this can be, yeah, it needs another section 3 body inner container, we'll call this. Container, and then image, and then we'll call this then text, or we'll call it info, and then in here we'll say that there, and that there. Yeah. Okay, so this container, so we know that our inner is then display flex direction is equal to, doesn't really matter, justify content equals stretch line items stretch. Container's going to do essentially exactly the same thing, but height is equal to orange, and that's going to be row as well. But row, so align items left to right, so justify content is then flex starts, and align items is up and down, and this can be flex start 2. Yep. Happy days. Now we just need to correct the image. Section image height equals 40, width equal to 60, margin 10, background is equal to tomato. Needs to be possibly like about 80 or something. No, we want width 60, height 60. Looks a bit better, but that looks better. So now we have that. Now the info, come here. Then display equals to flex directions equal to column, justify content is equal to flex starts, align items is equal to, so it's column top to bottom, then left to right, it's also to flex starts, margin top is equal to 20 possibly. Yeah, that's good, but that means this top looks better. We want the image to come down even further on the top, actually, like 40. And this is going to be then title, and this is going to be text. And then put text in here. We'll control this now. So title equals text transform uppercase, font weight 100, color equals white, text align and font size to 1.4 inch. Title. It's better. I want this to be black, sorry. Whoops, wrong one. Oh no, it did work. Just obviously not much of a difference between them. $800, is that what it looks like? Kind of. Okay, letter spacing 3 pixels as well. Yeah, that looks good. But this wants to have like a margin left of 32, looking good. And the image, because it's not going to have any background, that's fine. And let's say margin bottom of 20. Why did that not do anything? Ah. Margin bottom of 20 here. It's better. It's way too much. It's better. Text is a bit different. Thinner. This 2. Letter spacing 1. And 1 again. Needs to be text. That's looking good. That text is too big though. That's looking good. Margin. I like it. Yeah, it's looking good. So let's dump this background color now. And what else we got? Dump that. Yes, happy days. Give this 3 of them. So get rid of that one. Put that one in. Refresh, join the movements. We have transform lives. Train for a race. Sample text, click here and do anything. Yes, it's the same. Happy days. We're happy with that. Images we'll have to sort out later. And do they have anything? Okay, so they have like boxes under here. I don't know how many sections I'm going to do in this, but I'll do at least one more because otherwise the video gets too long. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Well, let's clean up. Before I continue, I'll go off and find some logos for these here. And let's see how it looks like this. Oh, that actually looks fantastic. We've got to do this next section. All right, I'm going to do some video editing and then see you in the next section. Okay, so as mentioned, I will continue this. If you want to see the next video, then I'll leave a link on the screen right now. Other than that, thanks very much for watching. I hope you got something out of this. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and tap the bell icon so you get notified when I release any new videos, and more than likely when I release the next part of this website development. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.